Good evening, fuckers. We are back with the next Train Simulator Classic request video. This is a request from Northlander74, so you know what that means. We're going to be going for hours on a 100-mile long journey in a train that does about 20 mph. Although initially things actually look quite good, because we're on the Just Trains Newcastle-Edinburgh route. Well, that route has quite a few 125 mph sections, so we might be able to get up to speed. Also, we are not doing the full length of it. In fact, nowhere near the full length of it. We are starting at Berwick-upon-Tweed. Our destination is Newcastle Central. So even though we are stopping at all stations, it's not a huge amount of stations. It's enough, but yeah, it's not a huge amount. And yeah, we have these fast sections on the route, so it's actually looking like it might be pretty good. Oh, he's chosen the Class 101 DMU. Bang goes the speed possibility. And if that wasn't enough, yeah, he wanted blanket snow on the ground. Well, when you select winter, you always get blanket snow, so that is fine. I've set it to overcast, and yeah, the time he wanted it midday, so yep, not a problem. So yeah, it's a slow manual gear DMU that we're in, but well, at least the journey is relatively short. The only other thing that I am a bit sort of uncertain about, this is not the most stable of routes. And okay, if I'm going from Newcastle to Edinburgh, I've never had a problem. Every time I've had an issue with this route, it's been where I am going southwards with Newcastle as the final destination. So let's hope this works. But I think that's everything. He did specify the Class 101 in BR Blue, which we have. And actually, I've chosen a 3-car train. No, I want this one. We're going to be in a 4-car DMU. So yeah, that's better. Okay, so everything's set up. Let's get this up and running. Alright, so here we are, the usual warning. Because of the issues, I will probably save at every station, so yeah, you'll have to bear with me with that one. I also hope I remember to edit out the loading, because that took a fucking age to load. Anyway, here we are at Berwick. Let's let everyone on board while we are finishing setting up the train, which, believe me, is not going to take long. There we go, job done. Right, what we got coming in here? Class 153. I mean, you really do have no idea what AI trains are going to show up on this route. It could be almost anything. When I quickly loaded this up so that I could take the screenshot for the thumbnail, it was a 390 Pendolino in the LMS colours that came past. I mean, talk about stark contrast. Anyway, Newcastle Central, 67.04 miles. Let's get underway. Let's release the brakes first and then get underway. So on this glorious viaduct as we cross the Tweed, it amazes me the number of videos who say this bridge apparently is called the Border Bridge, and the number of videos where you get people saying, oh, I don't know why they called it the Border Bridge because it isn't the border. It was when it was built, and I can't believe someone might need telling that, you know. But yeah, Berwick was essentially split into two. You had the Scottish section and the English section. Perhaps unsurprisingly, just about everybody who moved to Berwick wanted to move to the Scottish section. But yeah, these days the only thing that's still in the Scottish section, still has any sort of connection with Scotland is the football team. Now, I genuinely have no idea what the top speed of this thing is, but if it goes beyond, oh, there we go, yeah, max speed 70. Well, I was going to say if it goes beyond 65, I'll be amazed. So it looks like we could actually go beyond 70. But if we can get up to 75, that would be fantastic. And the other thing is, because we're in a fairly small train, I'm sure that was a 65 that we passed back there. 60, I meant 56, 65. But yeah, because we are in quite a small train with big wide open windows and quite a low centre of gravity, the sense of speed is quite impressive, despite the fact that we are currently only doing 70 mph. I say only, this is the maximum speed according to well, the maximum permitted speed. But then, since when does having permission mean anything? We'll go as fast as we can. To be honest, apart from the occasional station, I mean not every station, and the Morpeth curve, we'll probably be able to go, you know, full tilt for pretty much this entire run. So we're at 71.4. I mean, that is not bad going. Especially for a bloody ancient old crate like the 101 DMU. I mean, it's just because I describe trains as an old crate doesn't mean I don't like them. I mean, the 101 for its age is a fantastic thing. In a couple of videos back I described the Class 40 as an old crate, but I love the Class 40. Now, okay, at the moment there are no slow lanes for us to be diverted onto, but I have a feeling that even when we do get to those sections where there would be 4 lines, this is going to keep us on the fast lines. So we are probably going to be holding up an awful lot of significantly faster trains behind us. I mean, if there's a Class 91 behind us, that thing could do double the speed we're at the moment. Let alone if we had an APT behind us. It's entirely possible as well. like I say, you had absolutely no idea what AI trains are going to show up on this route. It's actually one of the things I do like about it, because it's so totally unpredictable. I mean, you know it's not going to pick any steam trains, it's not that random, but yeah, that's about as far as you can go with, like, you know, predicting what locos are going to show up here. Yep, straight across the level crossing. I've already forgotten how far, well, how long this journey was set to be. I can't remember if it was 68 or 70 miles. Well, whatever it was, we're certainly getting through it. Looks like we've got another train coming up ahead of us. What have we got here? There's a 220. You did certainly see plenty of 220s on this route. Probably not for a while, but yeah, they did run here. In fact, Northlander, who requested this run, he did post a video not that long ago, a few months back, where he was at a level crossing somewhere in Northumberland. I can't remember exactly where it was, and that was, well, it was a 221 that came hurtling past, and I mean hurtling past, it was definitely doing 125, and it was completely silent until the thing came rushing by. And you know, it's the perfect illustration of why you do not take any chances with level crossings unless you've got a death wish. I have absolutely zero sympathy for anybody who gets injured or worse on a level crossing. You know the risk you're taking, so you know, if you get away with it, well, it just shows you're an absolute arsehole, and if you're killed trying to do it, it's no more than you deserve. It certainly looks like 71.5 is our speed cap, unless we start going down some fairly steep gradients. We're not going to be doing that in Northumberland. I mean, it's not like Northumberland is like a billiard table, but yeah, compared to the other side of the country, where you've got, you know, the likes of Beaton, Shap and Scarfell Pike, yeah, this side is quite flat. I'm hoping that tonight is the night that Jim records a somewhat overdue request that I made on his channel, where he gets to put the Armstrong Powerhouse Class 87 through its paces. It's fair to say Jim is not a big fan of the tap changer control method that the Class 87 uses, but I think he really does sort of sell himself a bit short. He has done a run in an 87 in a video before, and considering he barely looks at them because he's not a fan of them, I think he did absolutely fine in it. And I see no reason to think that he wouldn't be absolutely fine in the AP version. So hopefully either tonight or tomorrow we'll get the chance to see how he does. And if you're thinking, did he say all of that just to try and make sure that Jim does that video? Yep, you're damn right I did. I knew the stations were quite spread out through Northumberland, but I thought there was one, there would have been one by now. What we got here? Looks like class 20. Yep. I couldn't tell if that was a DTG one or a Just Trains one. I think it might have been a Just Trains. I don't think the livery was one that I had for the DTG. DTG I have British Railways green and I have BR blue, and I think that's it. So if it's any other livery, it's got to be the Just Trains one. I don't know if we are going to get any trackside views of our lowly old 101 here, but we'll give it a shot. I'll give it one more try. Oh. So really we should have been diverted into these passing lanes, but we haven't been. Passing loop. It looks like there is a train up ahead in the passing loop. Okay, maybe there, oh, right, yeah, on this side. I was actually looking on the other side. So what have we got here that has effectively been put in a passing loop to let us get by it? It's a class 47, it's the Bosman one. So that's a rail tour train. A lot of flat straight track here. Let's see if we can See if we can get a trackside view. Yeah, here we are. Nice one. Ooh, this looks like it's a yeah, it's a first Great Western. So what the hell it's doing out here, I don't know, but yeah, it was a Class 43 HST. We have our passenger view here. That's it as far as passenger views go. So we got a lot of speed reductions followed by a further speed increase. But because we're only doing 71.5 mph, we haven't got to respond to any of them. Now when the request was initially made, he wanted us to start at Widdington, but this is one of those route DLCs. It does tend to be the Just Trains ones that do this, where yeah, you've only got a limited selection as far as where you can start. You can often end wherever you like, but yeah, the starting points, you can't just pick any station. On this route you can start at Newcastle, Edinburgh, Berwick-upon-Tweed or North Berwick, and that's it. That's the only starting options you have. Bit of a shame, but it is what it is. We have our first stop coming up, Chat Hill. Start coasting. See, it is a bit of a shame that I am going to have to sort of like save the game at every station. It's going to be a bit immersion breaking, but kind of have to do it, you know what I mean? Still a quarter of a mile away. Alright, what we got here? Yeah, good old 66. Stuff's driving that train though, nothing but empty cargo flats. I think I may have overdone this. That's putting it mildly. Well, yeah, two carriages, yeah, the doors opened. We've had about 3 cars go straight for us, 4 cars go straight through us. And so while we're here, yeah, so we'll save. So now we're all right. Yeah, another guy's out of ploughing us. There you go. Now we can get a bus as well, just for good measure. Okay, right. Doors are shut. Let's get away from this disaster. Certainly won't be long before we're back up to full speed again. I have a feeling if Armstrong Powerhouse were to do their own like enhanced versions of any of these DMUs with their manual gears, they'd be a lot more realistic and a lot trickier to drive. I very, very much doubt it will ever happen. It's Armstrong Powerhouse don't tend to go anywhere near this sort of era. The closest they did was when they, when they did the Class 37 and the 31. But even then, you know, yeah, locomotives, not DMUs. And the 205 that they do, yeah, that is quite an old one. It's certainly not as old as this thing. Must be, I can't remember the name of the airport that's there. Is it the one that's also in the North East England route DLC I got? Could be. I can't remember the name of that airport either. This one in 156 uphill gradient is the reason why it took us so long to reach our max speed cap, but here we are, 71.5. Another train approaching. What have we got this time? That might have been a 57, that one. Especially with the second one on the back. They actually stopped at that one. We're up to 71.6. Yeah, we are going downhill. Yeah, well, we only managed that breakneck speed for a short while. Another one with the gates actually shut. So this place, judging by what it was saying on the route display, is Little Mill. A bit of a misnomer. It doesn't look that little to me. But quite like the passenger view we got here. It doesn't sort of make it look a bit like we're in a single car, but yeah, clearly we are not. Another Class 20, the one that was absolutely filthy. That was definitely a Just Trains one. So this downhill section has got us really racing along 73.8 and climbing. Now does that 95 mean that there's a station coming up? It's quickly followed by an 85, makes me think yes. Well, if there is, you better hurry up and show up. We don't need to slow down or anything. Yeah, here it is. Anonymous. Start coasting. The fact that we are on this 1 in 170 downhill, I think we may need to brake slightly earlier than I would normally. Still over half a mile away from me. This looks like a much larger station than the previous one. So here we are at Allenmouth Station. Save again. Yeah, the old BR Blue is quite dark on this thing. Not entirely sure the station announcement at this place would have sounded quite like that. Anyway, off we go. So we have another train approaching. From here it looks like a 158, but well, we'll soon see. Yeah, that is a 158. It's 3-car. In the wrong livery to be a 159, so yeah, 158 it was. So what's in the passing lane here? Couldn't see if it was an 86 or an 87, but it's certainly one of the two. got another 20. Here it is, with a whole shitload of nuclear flasks. Okay. Hurtling through this one at quite the rate of knots. Yeah, this is turning out to be a pretty good run. So 85 limit coming up. As always, don't need to worry about that. So Accrington station coming up in a mile and a half. I did stop slightly later than usual, but yeah, still braking a lot sooner than needed. Another station that is a lot shorter than I thought. We are going to overshoot it, not by much, but we are going to overshoot it. That's not terrible. Yeah, they can still get out here. No problem. So this is Acklington. What we've got coming up here. Another 47, I think. Okay. Onwards and upwards. Less than 30 miles now to Newcastle Central. We do have a fair few stations sort of in and around the Newcastle area. Clearly we are in an area called Chevington. I thought there was a Chevington station, but it would appear not. So Widrington area, this is where I was originally asked to start this, but yeah, I couldn't. There, it's like 56. Widrington station is coming up. So having to start at Berwick for this run means that yeah, I've more than doubled the length that the run would have been if I could have started where I was asked to. Oh well. Couldn't really see what that one was. I mean, it could have been a 165 or 365. It had that sort of, you know, that rounded front I really don't like. It makes it, you know, the giant suppository, as I call it. So this looks like a very small station. There we go. Perfect stop. Let's see if the yeah, even the rear carriage is absolutely fine. So, yep, got that stop absolutely nailed on. So, yep, this is Widrington. Entering a 105 zone, if only. Another station that's been closed down. Another 56. So, Exwood is the next stop. Another very short platform here. Overshot this quite a bit. I did not apply the brakes hard enough, and nowhere near hard enough. We've overshot that by a hell of a lot. That's a properly crap stop. Look at that. Completely missed by a carriage. So the N2 are fine, but yeah, this one should have been okay. But yeah, doors haven't opened, but yeah, this one, disaster. Anyway, Pegswood Station, here we are. Well, back there it is. Morphus is coming up. We have another class 20 going by. Morphus station is quite a short gap between Hexwood and Morphus. What we got here? It's another 165 or 166, I can't really tell, but from the livery it's in completely the wrong place. So we'll see what this is. Another 47. So into the 50 zone, which we need to be doing for the Morphus curve, which starts while we're actually still in the station. But so, yep, here we are at Morphus. All doors opened. Oh, fuck's sake. So it's saying that we are actually on a 125 mph section, which is absolute horseshit. 110 zone, so we can go back to yeah, going flat out yet again. None of the cars stopped there, but they were going to come out of that a damn sight worse than we were. Another one arriving. Let's see what this is. It looks like a 91. It is a 91. Cranlington station is our next stop. think I'm a bit late with the braking here. Yeah. It's an extremely small station and we're still motoring along. I think we're going to miss Cramlington. Completely. Alright, no point stopping there, so yeah, I ballsed that one up, seriously. We're just after, just under 10 miles to Newcastle. Got approaching us here. Another 165? No, it's another either 87 or 86. With that much freight behind it, I'm thinking that's an 87. approaching Heaton, this is where it always says this is where it needs saving. Double yellow he's just been through. See what this next one is. Probably best if we start to coast a bit just in case. That's a single yellow. Slam the brakes on. That's not our one. I can't tell if that's a 156 or a 150 that we're just going by there. Well, we've gone up the red again. Not red, gone back to green again, I should say. Very much like a 47 there. Network southeast, up in Newcastle. Yeah, sounds about right. I think the speed reduction down to 60 will be okay. So yeah, we have to stop at Manners. I don't think we need to worry too much about saving where we are at Manners station. We're a long old way from it. Rates ridiculously early for this one. Goes another 87. There's nothing wrong with that stop as well, and certainly nothing wrong with that one. So yeah, all of those should have opened. I mean, really, we're into, like, you know, within walking distance of Newcastle Central station, but nevertheless, here we are. Someone's just got onto this train. I mean, I can only assume that they are wanting to go beyond Newcastle. We're kind of out of luck, really, because, yeah, we are not going beyond Newcastle. Coasting, we should be in 4th gear. So single yellow, which is fine. So that was a 57 there. that one there is. It looks like a 150. Trying to see what this train here is. Last time we pulled up here, this train next to us was a Deltic. Just curious to see what this one is this time. A long old 158 coming in the other platform there. Well, it's certainly not a Deltic this time. That looks like a class 50 to me. But there we are. That was Berwick to Newcastle in the class 101 diesel. And that was a decent run actually. I was kind of dreading it. I thought it was going to be like a really tough one, and I also thought it was going to be quite a grind. It turned out to be neither. It was relatively straightforward, but it was also a really good run, helped by the sheer variety of AI trains that we passed. No operational errors of any kind. Certainly can't complain about that, although, let's face it, I was certainly never going to get any speeding errors in this thing. So, yeah, all in all, yeah, that was a great one, that. Like that one a lot. So, there we go, that is that video done, and we will see you at the next one.